Mr. Chang Beom Kim, you are the Ambassador of International Relations of Seoul Metropolitan Government and the representative of Mayor of Seoul Won-soon Park, the President of ICLEI. You might all know that ICLEI, as the network of local governments for sustainability, Mr. Kim, cities also play a very important role to speed up and scale up the implementation of the Paris Agreement. Could you please address the audience and tell us more about what your city is doing and also how cities are working together as climate champions on the local level? The floor is yours.
Good morning, Excellencies, Honorable Ministers, especially two distinguished high-level climate champions, Minister Kima and also Laurence and Jeff and Paul, and all the colleagues and mayors and governors and ladies and gentlemen. It's a great pleasure for me to be here with you this morning. On behalf of Mayor Park Won-soon of the city of Seoul and concurrently the President of ICLEI, Local Government for Sustainability, I want to extend my warmest greetings and also congratulations for the organizers and all the participants. First of all, let me share very latest data compiled by the ICLEI's Carbon Climate Registry, which is open to you. Today, 700 cities are committed to reduce more than 1 billion tons of greenhouse gas emissions by the year of 2020. Dozens of cities are committed to a transition towards 100% renewable energy. And furthermore, almost 100 cities now already committed to energy and climate targets for the year of 2050. Those concrete actions and strong commitments have brought us together this morning at this conference hall. For the first time in the history of the United Nations climate conferences, we have come together at this low emissions solution conference to discuss with all the actors about solutions, not problems, to proceed and apply for the implementation of the Paris Agreement. I'm very delighted to see this conference as part of the innovative, inclusive, and ambitious global climate action. And in this sense, I'd like to commend once again both of the climate champions for their political wisdom, courage, and vision to put this as an innovative agenda in the UNFCCC process. I firmly believe the cooperation between the Sustainable Development Solution Network, SDSN, the World Business Council for Sustainable Development, and ICLEI will further enhance through this event. By adopting the Paris Agreement last December and ratifying it less than a year later, nations helped the world reach an important milestone in tackling climate change. However, there is a substantial gap. We have to close the gap. Over the next 3 days, from today until the 16th, ICLEI member cities, for example, Dakar, Edmonton, Malacca provincial government, Oslo, Tokyo, Warsaw in Poland, will share their ambitious visions and practices on how they transform their cities to become low-carbon, climate-resilient, and smart cities. You will witness how we are leading by example by applying low-carbon, climate-resilient technologies in the municipal fleets, buildings, and facilities. As the President and long-term member of ICLEI, the city of Seoul also leads by example. The Seoul Metropolitan Government has implemented a Sustainable Energy Action Plan titled One Less Nuclear Power Plant Project, which is aimed to reduce the energy equivalent to the amount produced by the nuclear power plant. Thanks to the active participation by the citizens in Seoul, we were able to reach the goal of reducing 2 million tons oil equivalent TOE of energy ahead of our targeted timeline. Thank you. Keeping up this momentum, we have started implementing the second phase of the project, which is aiming to reduce 10 million tons of greenhouse gas by the year of 2020. We aim to inspire and stimulate many more cities along our efforts to successfully assist the implementation of the Paris Agreement. In that spirit, ICLEI and Seoul are pioneering in building global alliance of local and regional under the Compact of Mayors, which is now evolving into so-called Global Covenant of Mayors for Climate and Energy by merging with the European Covenant of Mayors. ICLEI contributes in this effort by mobilizing its vast network of over 1,500 cities, towns, and regions in more than 100 countries, as well as operating the Carbon Climate Registry as the world's leading global reporting platform for cities and regions. Let me finally just share the outcome of the Seoul Mayors Forum on Climate Change that took place in September this year as the first ever event under the new Global Covenant of Mayors Climate and Energy. In our communique agreed upon in Seoul last September, our cities called for 3 important steps. First, cities encouraged the national governments to include their cities and local governments in their nationally determined contribution, NDCs, and improve the coordination and the collaboration between all levels of governments intra-national. Second, we asked the UNFCCC Secretariat to recognize the Global Covenant of Mayors for Climate and Energy as a key initiative that guides and supports local governments with technical assistance. Thirdly, we asked the global financial institutions to substantially improve the city access to climate finance and to consider applications submitted under the ICLEI Transformative Actions Program as priority implementation projects. Let me conclude that we are all on a long march, but we have started last year and we carry on. I think that under any circumstance, this march cannot be stopped. And thank you for all the participation and joining for us. Thank you.